the advice I give to my 17-year-old son is never move in with your girlfriend and never move in with your future wife. I ask him to instead to start building his castle one brick at a time. I tell him it's best to develop his skills, work on his profession or a business to build a foundation, a future for himself. And I share with him the life of my cousins because my cousins are really good examples of what to do. And I also give him examples of men that I've personally known that have been kicked out of their girlfriend's house or their wife's house. And that's not a good place to be. So the story I tell my son is how I used to go to Mexico as a young teenager. I would enjoy going to Mexico and spending time with my cousins there. And the focus of my cousins, of our talks, were on what education they were going to study or what they were studying at the moment, what their investments, their girlfriends. Like, they would talk about how, well, they were studying architect, engineers. Others were helping their dad at the auto shop, the family business. The younger ones did that. And those were their talks. And I remember observing them and listening to their talks, and their focus was making money. And one day I saw that they had a basement full of appliances and household items. And I asked, it's like, why do you have storage of all these household items if you don't have a house? And my cousin, he said, well, I plan to have a house. I'm going to have a house, and I want my wife to have everything she needs. So he knew he was going to get married. He knew he was going to have a house. And he was already working on it. And then this other cousin, he went and asked me to go with him to go buy a puppy. It was his girlfriend's birthday. And I was like, why don't you get her jewelry? Why are you giving her a puppy? That's too much work. I wouldn't want to get a puppy. And he said, well, because if she can take care of this puppy and she does a good job taking care of a puppy, then I can trust her and I can trust having a baby with her. Otherwise, if she can't take care of a puppy, I don't want to continue my relationship with her. And so that's something I saw a little bit too late in life that I should have seen. But now I understand them, that they were working on their future. They were working what they knew they were going to have. They knew that they wanted to have a house. They knew that they wanted to have a wife, and they were already building their castle one brick at a time, one refrigerator at a time, like one stove at a time, and that's how they did it. And so maturity doesn't come with age. Because I have met men, and I've known stories of men that are past 40 and they don't have a castle. And instead, these men go out and seek women that already have a castle. And this castle either belongs to the young woman's parents, because she might still live with her parents. And so the throne of king and queen are already taken by her parents. Or if it's an older woman, she might have a castle built already and she's living in it. And the problem with this one is that that queen, she took on the role of king as well. Because I consider myself a queen and a king because I raised my two children on my own with very little help from the fathers. And so I took on the role of being the provider and the protector for my children. And that's the role that's assigned to a king. And the problem with a man moving in to a castle that doesn't belong to him is that he will try to come in and be a king. And because this woman has already overcome hardships, long hours of work, and sacrifices to build her castle, this woman is not going to give up her role as a king that easily. And this woman would love to have a relationship with a king. And she will accept a man into her realm. But the trouble comes up when this new man that's in her life tries to take away her power and tries to remove her from the king's throne. And at the same time, he fails to put her on the throne of the queen. And a woman that is a queen, we are very capable of respecting and admiring a man as long as he takes on the role as a king and treats us like queens. But if he's failing to be a provider and he's failing to be a protector and he tries to take away her royal console, like all her decision-making power, then he's seen as an invader. And what happens to invaders? They get kicked out. That's what happens. And it's a sad situation to be left out on the street. And that's why I advise to my son and my daughter, and I think that all women and all men should build a castle of their own. If at any point in your life you meet your queen or your king and you both have a castle, that's not a problem at all, because you can join your empires. And as a result, your relationships will be stronger because you decide to be with this person, because you want to be with this person, not because you need a place to live. And you will not be seen as an invader. You will be seen as royalty joining their empires. So doesn't matter what age you're on, start building your castle.